Hey Collective and Soul Tribe, happy Monday. Today is Monday, April the 6th, okay? Right now the time is 10:57 a.m. where I live. All right, guys, just a disclaimer because I haven't really been saying this in my videos or messages. If you are new to the channel, hello, welcome. If you guys have been showing up on my channel, hey, you know what's up, okay? But for anybody who needs a reminder, okay, just a friendly reminder, nothing too out of the ordinary, just keep in mind that these videos are timeless. So it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter the timeline. Like, even if I'm saying the angel number in that moment, in that time frame of the video, it doesn't have to happen right then and there. It can happen days after. It can happen hours after, weeks, months, okay? For some of you, even angel numbers too, like some of you may not be paying attention to the angel numbers as frequently. And that is also why I mention angel numbers as well, because even if you don't see it within that time frame, it may show up in different ways on a license plate, on a receipt, on your clock, okay? On your phone, on your TV, on your computer screen. Like, there's just different ways to find signs and synchronicities, whether this is through nature, butterflies, like, you guys get it, right? So even if, say for example, today's Monday and where you live in your country, it's Tuesday, guess what? The message can still resonate because guess what? You are a day ahead, which is actually better because if you guys are getting the readings after the fact, that means you've already completed that cycle for that day anyways. And unfortunately for those like us who are still stuck in Monday while you're in Tuesday, right? We're still going through whatever energy is still happening at this time. You get what I'm saying, guys? So, like I said, take what resonates with you whenever you see it. Don't force it. Don't make it fit. But just wanted to, clear that up in case anybody is wondering or who's new to the channel. But I do mean that in the nicest, most friendliest way possible. So don't take it to, heart. And it's not like a personal attack on anybody. This is just for anybody who is new and who doesn't know, like, how we get down on this channel, right? So yeah, let's see what you guys might need to know. All right, so first two cards is shift, okay, with the number 9. Now, you guys could be going through some type of shift, and there is something about spiritual cleansing that could be significant. Confirmation with the horn I just heard. Now, with the number 9, this talks about, like I said, completing cycles. Like I just mentioned before I even started the reading, completing cycles is very significant. You guys could have been through some type of completion, whether this is the service that you provide or just showing up as someone who has a lot of compassion. This could be healing other people. This could be, being selfless when it comes to your awareness and being able to let go in order for you to ascend. So like I said, you guys could be going through a shift. Spiritual cleansing could be very significant. Okay, with the number 55 talks about change. So let's see what this is. Fire energy is very significant with the number 27 and also nature. So there is something about you guys maybe going out in nature, being in nature. This could be you grounding yourself, especially when it comes to like your inner fire. Even when it comes to being around like earth, this could be soil. So putting your foot in the earth, just grounding yourself, just, walking on the ground, the earth, okay? That could be significant. Even tree hugging could be significant as well. But there's something about the energy where even if you have a lot of fire in your chart, or even if you don't, and you just have this inner fire in general, there's something about you being able to be grounded, or you being able to ground yourself when it comes to you going outside, or just finding ways to ground. Whether this is like putting your feet flat on the floor, okay, in your own home, doesn't matter where you are, right? It's all about the intention behind that. And a lot of people think that they have to have a lot of money, a lot of, crystals, a lot of, spell work, a lot of everything in order for them to manifest. And a lot of times it's about the intention behind it. So even if you use herbs, even if you use material like crystals and shells and things like that, it doesn't matter how you cleanse or how you show up. I personally think it's about the intention behind it. Okay, now, again, like I said, when it comes to spirituality, I'm very open. I'm not going to sit here and judge anybody and say you're right and you're wrong, because there's no right and wrong in how you heal and how you manifest and how you move in your progress, right? So if you have someone in your energy who's telling you how it should be done, just flick them away. It's like bug off. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you want to be slow in your journey, be slow. Okay? If you want to move fast, move fast. Everybody's energy and path is different. But what we're not going to do is we're not going to judge other people or judge, our own community when we all know better. You know what I'm saying, guys? So even having awareness, your inner fire, stepping into that, this could be you grounding, nurturing yourself, okay? Things of that matter. The color green could be very significant too. So angel number 9 as well with this number here. And also when it comes to angel number 1212, that could be very significant for some of you as well too. So there's something about you being able to go outside, being able to go out more, okay, even with the weather changing as well. Like I said, you guys could be kind of going with the flow with the weather too. So if it is nice and beautiful outside, you'll go outside. If it's raining or whatever the case is, it's like you'll still go outside, but like if you don't have a vehicle, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to layer and, wear different type of clothes and things like that. But if you do have a vehicle, it's easier for you to travel because of the fact that you're able to move around the city easily. So that could be you grounding yourself, just traveling around the city, doing your errands, doing what you need to do, but not having a lot of people around you is also significant. But there's something about being alone and connecting with nature also is significant. We have divine masculine energy though, so the number 2. So yeah, there's something about you going through some type of shift, right? When it comes to either you being the divine masculine or even if you're a feminine, like tapping into your divine masculine energy. We have death. So transformations are significant, okay, with the number 9. Again, completion. We have affluence. Okay, so there's something about change when it comes to like your abundance. This could be your abundance. Okay, this could be money as well. Now, this doesn't have to be like actual money only. Like I said, this could be monetary things. This could be like material items. But there is something about your luck as well changing. Okay, so we also have the new moon, and I'm going to also see when that's coming up because I did mention this in another video like weeks ago. But I'm going to check again because you guys know I like to look at the app. So yeah, there's something about the new moon that's coming up like April 17th, right? So within the next few weeks or so after this, right? So it's going to be Aries and Taurus. That's the new moon cycle. And then it's going to go into Taurus after that. So this is like the 17th, the 18th. So yeah, the new moon cycle is only for 2 days. It's the 17th and the 18th. And then the waxing crescent moon goes into Taurus and Gemini. So there could be something happening on the 17th and 18th that could be, significant for some of you guys. If not, it could just be the energy that you guys are feeling, right, at this time with the number 45. So 999 is significant because there's something about completions. Okay, there's something about completing cycles. Divinity is also significant. Some of you guys could be receiving a lot of luck because again, you guys are following your divinity, your divine path. So this is about you guys when it comes to, divine partnership. This is about unions when it comes to the opposite. Okay, divine timing and emotional acceptance, right? Even when it comes to just higher compassion, there's certain situations that when it is time to bring out higher compassion for certain people, places, and things, and when to hold on to that. So some people may look at your energy, and that's no one's business but your own. But again, when it comes to assumptions, people may assume that you're being selfish because you have discernment on who and what you want to pick and choose your energy on. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you're aware who needs help and who doesn't. You're not going to waste your time. It's like a doctor, right? Or like the boy who cried wolf. It's like if you're constantly crying wolf and, saying, oh, this person did this to me, or oh, this person said this to me, or oh, just always like snitching, always complaining, and nothing really happened. Oh boy, lo and behold, something really does happen and you want someone to believe you. That's the energy that I'm picking up. Like, you could have had a lot of people who like to be the boy who cried wolf, right? Like saying a lot of things about you, doing a lot of things towards your energy, but it was really them the whole entire time, okay? And you're aware. That is why you guys don't really care about what people want to do or say, because you're divinely guided and you're connected, right? You have a lot of like ancient knowledge and wisdom about certain situations and like dynamics that happen, and people want to know, like, how would you know, or how do you know? And it's just like, you know, you don't need to say why you know something. Like, you guys could get it through your visions, your dreams, okay, whatever it is, but you guys just know. Yeah. There's something about air energy, okay? So again, like I said, communication could be very significant. This could be you. This could be the way you communicate the knowledge and wisdom that you have, okay, with the number 28, right? 10 is also significant, which also talks about completing things and feeling whole. So there is something about you feeling whole within yourself when it comes to a certain situation, whether this is communication, whether this is you dealing with air placements or not, but there is something about the mind, logic, okay, and also how you speak and how you write and how you say things and how you show up, okay, in that energy. Karmic path is very significant as well. So there's something about your karmic path that you could have learned or understood, right, or accepted when it comes to this divine feminine energy. And then we also have talisman, okay, keys. Like I said, when it comes to communication and things of that matter, you knowing a lot of things, when it comes to karmic path energy, you may have the keys to a lot of things, okay? You may have the keys to a lot of things. You are the one that unlocks a lot of things. And if people are not basically aware about your energy or the strength or power that you may have in your energy in itself, like even if you may not show up in a certain way in the 3D, there's something about you showing up in the 5D very powerful for some of you guys because of your knowledge and wisdom and you being connected to other realms in the 5D. There's something about you being connected when it comes to keys. Growth is significant. We have new life. So again, Ankh symbols are, significant as well. You guys are moving towards new life when it comes to your energy. Okay, magic is also significant. Tapping into your magic, knowing that you guys have a lot of magic and you guys are, magical beings or magical people, right? But not only that, seeing the magic in life as well and using that to move forward regardless of what is happening around you. Yes, you're aware. Yes, you know. But at the same time, why would you want to be in that vibration when you can be in a different type of vibration? And the more vibration that you are in that significance of you, elevating it, the more that it executes to other energies as well, or the more that it mirrors back to us, right? So obviously take what resonates with that. We have earth energy for some of you guys with the number 11. So like I said, when it comes to shadows, because you're somebody who knows your own shadows, like I said, you can see through other people's shadows, especially if they're not fully healed or if they haven't fully done the inner work, right? Again, like I said, when it comes to dealing with people and places with the number 7, because 4 and 3 equals 7, 7 talks about spirituality, wisdom, and introspection. You have an inner knowing where when it comes to shadows, like I said, you can heal your own shadows and you don't care if people see your shadows as well, but you best believe you will trigger other people's shadows if they haven't done the work or if they're not healing that part of themselves. So if people care how people see them, like, say you're somebody who cusses, on like when you're alone by yourself with your friends or people that you connect close with, you may have other people around you that because they put you in a certain like pedestal or perspective, it's like, oh my gosh, how dare the collective cuss and curse and do this when they're the golden child or they're the ones that do this. And you don't care. It's like, I don't care if you guys look at, you guys may think this, like, you don't care if people look at you as the golden child or you don't care if people look at you as the one. You care about justice. You care about what's right and you care about what's wrong. So you don't care if somebody likes you or if they don't like you. If they're wrong, they're just wrong. Okay, like you don't care. They can talk about their own perspectives all they want, but you, for some reason with your energy, you will bring justice to a situation. So it also depends on your placements as well. Like if you have very strong placements that allow justice, or even when it comes to like war energy, being able to be that warrior, right? So it's giving like Aries energy, but then also Chiron energy is significant, right? And then also depending on certain fire placements may resonate as well. That, guys, when it comes to other placements as well, dealing with other placements when it comes to dealing with people, it's like you notice other people's shadows. You notice that people do not want to heal from certain things. And like I said, people just doing things on purpose to be petty or calculated or just to be annoying in your energy, right? That is significant. Like you are aware of people's shadows, people who don't want to heal, but then they want you to do the inner work for them, but they don't want to look within themselves, right? And when it comes to dealing with people, places, and things, it's like people know the things that they do, they're aware, but they just don't care, right? So if you're somebody who speaks up on a lot of things, it's like you can speak up on a lot of things, but people are offended by what you say because you don't care how they feel when you say these things. You're just speaking truth and you're speaking facts. So if you say to people, hey, I'm doing this project or I'm doing this, and people still do whatever they want in your energy, but then wonder why karma hits them the way that it does, whether this is in their own life, this could be, their mental or their vehicle or their money. Like people don't realize that the things that they do, it comes back to them tenfold. So if you're trying to be triggering or if you're trying to do triggering things in someone's energy who isn't somebody who does it back, karma's a bitch. Excuse my language, but karma is a bitch. Karma does not miss. And that is why sometimes you guys are in this observing energy, because as much as you see how people are, you know that you wouldn't do the things that other people do to you. So for example, if you have like, say for example, like back in the day, some of you guys used to work from home, right? Say you work from home and say you explain to people, hey, I work from home. I have this thing that I'm doing. So please do not interrupt my energy or do not do this or do not do that, because maybe where you're located, there's something about your energy where you're in the center of everything. So you can hear or see a lot of things. Take what resonates with that. You may have people who know this and still go out their way to do childish, petty things to try to get a reaction out of your energy. But instead of getting a reaction, you'll just speak up on certain matters and say, yeah, I'm aware, I see it, but I'm just going to let you do what you want to do because, life can life, right? You can be here today and gone tomorrow. So I don't care what you want to do it, because I know in my energy, I still have things that I will continue to get done. And a lot of times people don't realize that if you are somebody who's aware of your energy, it's like, you know what? You don't have much time. Do whatever you want to do. That's how you may look at certain people, especially older generations too, where they're aware of their actions and they're aware of the things that they do. And you're like, you know what? Do whatever you want to do. If you want to be petty, because guess what? Tomorrow is not guaranteed. And I'm not going to go back and forth and fight and argue. You know what I mean, guys? Like you guys are not stepping into that energy where people are just purposely trying to do things to get something out of you when you're in a new energy of being grounded. Okay, you guys have been trying to ground yourself, and that is also significant. And that is why when it comes to people, places, and things, you no longer care about other people's feelings, because the same way people try to treat you or act and act all like shocked and astonished is the same way that you're treating other people. So it's like, that's okay. If you want to do the things you do, go ahead. But at the end of the day, you guys can go to sleep at night and you don't have a conscience. Like other people are getting haunted by your energy. They're getting tormented by your energy. Okay, you guys could have people in the other realms that are protecting you, and they could be haunting these people for you. And because they're not self-aware about the actions that they do, like they don't realize that they're annoying, or they don't realize that they're being petty or being shady, because they don't take in the fact of that matter, they still do the things that they do, but then sit there and shiver in the corner and say, oh my gosh, why does this keep happening to me? Like, people like that, like, it's almost like you cutting off someone's funds, being spiteful, knowing that you were supposed to help them, and then wondering why your funds are cut off. That's the energy that I'm getting. It's like people are so shocked and appalled when they do things to you, but they don't expect it to happen to them back, or they don't expect you to put your foot down and do it back to them. And that is also significant. So it's almost like, yeah, continue doing what you're doing, but I know that there are ghosts and entities and things of higher source and power that shake you in your boots. Like, you know that you have someone protecting you that is literally ruffling people's feathers, confirmation with the horn. And that is why you guys are like, do whatever you want to do. Like, now you're at a point where you don't care because you know there are entities out there that they tried to come for you, or they use those things to come for you, and now you're using it against them. And these are the same entities that are attacking these same people in their dreams, right? Giving them nightmares, doing things to them like when they're alone. Like, when I mean like ghost type of energy, paranormal activity, those are the same people who don't learn their lessons. They're the ones that are going to see their shadows. Like, they're going to continue seeing shadows and things like that if they continue doing what they're doing to you in your energy. So again, if you're somebody who expresses yourself and explains a lot of things, but you stop doing that, you guys are watching people receive their karma because they didn't want to listen, or they didn't want to be respectful of your energy. Okay? And that is something that could be happening to a lot of people around you right now, not because you manifested it, but because of the fact that you're somebody who's very quiet and you try to keep the peace, but other people are trying to do things to be provoking. They're receiving their karma. Okay, so I'm going to end it here. Please take what resonates with you guys whenever you see this video or message. And again, thank you guys for the love and the support that you guys have been giving and sharing. I appreciate that. And I'll see you guys next time. All right, I'll see you guys next time. I hope you guys have a good Monday. And yeah, cleanse your energy, you guys. Always cleanse your energy, because even me, this is coming from me, I don't like every and anybody in my energy because I'm aware. So even when it comes to cleanse your energy, guys, because there are things that are happening right now when it comes to spiritual warfare where people are doing things and it's like I don't know if they realize or they just don't care, but people are just doing things and not realizing the consequences that come towards them when it comes to karma. Like, if you're receiving bad energy, it's because of the things that you do to people. Okay, if someone in your energy is saying that they see ghosts or there's something attacking them, that's negative energy attacking them because of what they've done to you. Like, if you're someone who doesn't experience that because you don't do things to people unconsciously, you're not petty, you're not spiteful, you don't do things behind people's back, you don't do that, or you don't talk about people in a sense where to get them in trouble, you know what I mean, purposely. And you may have people in your energy who do that, right? So when they receive their karma, whether this is physically or mentally, that's on them. There's nothing that they can do to stop it either, because if they had handled the situation differently, and especially if you were younger than that individual and they're the adult, if they never handled the situation like an adult and they were still acting childish in the situation, of course they're going to get haunted. Like, I'm not trying to sit here and tell people like what it is, but it's true. Your bad intentions and your negativity will always come back to you no matter what you do in life, no matter if you thought you paid your debt, no matter what you do. Negative energy will always follow. Remember, things come back in tenfolds. So if all these years you were dealing with certain groups and people and you were the one that was giving, kind, understanding, whether this was emotionally or not, these people who were doing things to you purposely or trying to get a rise out of you or trying to get you to be mentally unstable because of whatever strange, weird reason, whether that was them projecting onto you, they're receiving their karma. Okay, you guys, they're receiving karma, and karma doesn't miss. Whatever that karma is, a lot of people think that they get away with a lot of things that they do, but they don't realize that it can come back in so many different ways. It can come back in your health, your money, okay, your material, okay, where you live, your whatever it is. A lot of people think what they do to you, they're getting away with it. Don't worry about that. Focus on what matters to you. Focus on what matters when it comes to your joy and your happiness. Who cares if they're receiving their karma? Let them. They knew what they were doing when they did it. Allow them to make their bed and allow them to lay in that bed. Okay? Don't unfold it for them. Don't unravel them. Let them lay in that. Okay? And let them sit in that. Because a lot of times people don't realize that when they're used to getting away with a lot of nonsense, and you are the one to say, you know what, you can do that over there, but don't do that crap over here. A lot of times people don't know how to maneuver, right? When it comes to the energy, they're used to getting whatever they want, or they're used to manipulating the situation the way that they want it to play out. And some of you guys are like, no, you can do that on your own time, but don't do that in my energy. I don't care what you do outside of here, but don't do that with me. I don't care if you don't talk to me, but don't do certain things around me. That's what you do, because you're not doing that to them. So you would expect better from other people. But unfortunately, when you expect the same type of respect from people who don't respect themselves, it's not going to work out the way that you expect it to, unfortunately, you guys. Like, sometimes you just have to look at situations with people and just let it be and understand that there's nothing that's going to come out of the situation. Allow that people to be over there and allow yourself to be over here. You're in a new vibration. You're in a new energy. You are no longer in the past. So if someone is accustomed to a younger version of you and still trying to manipulate that version of you, they're going to keep losing. And things are going to keep happening to them, because it's like they're not leaving you alone. It's like they're purposely doing things on purpose to see if they can try to get a rise out of you. And the funny thing about it too, guys, is that people who do this to you guys, like try to do things in your energy, whether this is like around your room, around your space, around you, when people try to do things like that, it's like, imagine if you were to do the things that you did to them, they would be dead right now. Like, in all honesty, like if you were to do the things that you were to do to people that they did to you, a lot of people would not make it. They would not be alive right now, because when you do it, you're not doing it the way they're doing it. You're going 10 times harder than them. So if someone was trying to be verbally abusive to you, you're going to be verbally abusive 10 times more, because that's your version of justice. It's like, oh, you want to talk this way about me? No problem. We can go back and forth. And guess what? It's not me who's going to be hurt in the end. It's you. And that is why a lot of times you guys walk away from certain situations, because you know your mouth, you know how you are, and you know that you're going to hurt someone's feelings more than they think that they're hurting yours. And that is why you walk away from situations and allow karma to just handle it, because you know if you were to speak up on literally every single thing that you've seen over the last few years, a lot of people would have a lot of shame. It's okay for people to say what they want to you guys, but woo, the moment you open your mouth and say, well, I know this and I seen this and I think this and this and this and this, the moment you lay down all your receipts down on the table, that's when everybody now flips it back and says, you're this, you're that, or collective this, collective that. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, you could be the quiet one, and the moment you deflect back what other people don't like about their own selves, that's when you're the problem. Unfortunately, that is when you're the problem. So say, for example, even generations, before I end this reading too, say for generations, right, where you may have certain cultures or family members that make it feel as if it is your responsibility to take care of their burdens, right? Meaning paying the rent, even though that's not your job. Like, your job is to try to build your own stability. That is what parents are for. Parents are supposed to help their kids when it comes to building stability. And I know there are good parents out there that no matter where their children are in life, they still help their kids no matter what, without having any hold on to that child. Meaning, like, they can still give their kid money, they can still help their kid, they can still do things for their kids without having like something tied behind that. You know what I'm saying? Like, some family members, it's like they'll do things for their kids and throw it back in their face and say, how dare you disrespect me? Because guess what? If you are not paying any bills, or say you are paying bills, but it's not your name on it or whatever the case is, it's like family members will feel like it's okay to say things to you and say, you know, don't speak to me this way. How dare you? But you are allowed to speak to them however you feel. Like, I'm sorry. Like, a lot of cultures feel like respect means that you can say whatever you want to somebody without it being returned back to you. That's not respect. Respect is, if you disrespect me first, I will disrespect you back. There's no middle line. Like, a lot of people think spirituality is about love and light. Yeah, it is love and light, but it's also about balance. If you are shady, I'm going to be shady back to you as well. If you're mean to me, I'm going to be mean back to you too. If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. Okay? And guess what? If I don't feel like wasting my time and energy because I know you're being a weirdo, I'm just going to disconnect from you, or I'm just going to leave you alone and let you deal with your own burdens. But a lot of times, family and friends feel like it is your responsibility to pay rent and cook food and do this and do that. And then at the same time, have the audacity to say, yeah, and also, I want you to leave the home, right? And have your own home and have your own kids and have your own this, but then be selfish and say, I want you to take care of me. It doesn't work like that. When your parents take care of you, they take care of you to an extent. If they want to help you, that is on them, right? But they're supposed to give you the tools and give you all the things that you need in order for you to move on in life and succeed. And you want to know something? Unfortunately, a lot of people have parents growing up where they were so focused on money and material and friends and groups and who likes me and who doesn't, versus taking care of their responsibilities, meaning their children, and going within and saying, you know what, let me see how my child is mentally and physically. And the excuse usually is, well, my parents didn't teach me. So what? How come our generation can look at our parents and our situations that we deal with, and we can learn from that and say, well, damn, if it didn't work for our parents, I don't think it's going to work out for me. And if it doesn't, let me find another plan. They don't look at it like that. They look at it as, we don't work or we don't do this and we don't do that. Some parents, not all. And for those who do have parents who raise them in a sense where they still help them despite the age that they're at, and they weren't forced to pay rent and do this and do that, like they were genuine parents and they wanted their kid to succeed, my hat goes off to you. Whoever has parents like that, I recommend that whoever has parents like that, it's a dime in a dozen. Not everybody is grateful and lucky to be in situations like that. Sometimes it's one parent, sometimes it's none. Sometimes you end up with both parents that, when it comes to emotional intelligence as well, you could be dealing with parents that are still childish. Okay? Like, in a sense where even if you were to speak upon certain things, because you don't speak the way that they speak, like in their language, you're the bad guy. So you could be still speaking truth, but because they don't want to see your perspective or see your side of anything, they're always going to look at you like you're the problem or you're the issue or you're this or you're that. When really, a lot of parents that are from older generations, there's a lot of inner child things that they haven't healed and traumas that they haven't healed. And not only that, some of them don't even want to take accountability and say, you know what, I projected a lot of my insecurities onto you while you were still dealing with that and moving forward. All right, guys? So I'm going to end it there. Please take what resonates with you guys. Sorry this video is so long, but I just feel like that energy may resonate for some of you guys, especially if it's generational, because a lot of times, a lot of us have gone through growing up having to adult ourselves. And then also the audacity, not to say that you guys are mad or anything, but it's just the audacity of you having to grow up alone or by yourself, or grow up a lot when it comes to certain situations and dynamics, and having people older than you having the audacity to still tell you how to live your life and how to do certain things when they don't even have it figured out either, or they haven't even accomplished certain things that you did. Instead of saying good job and saluting you for how far you've come, because not everybody has it easy, they're quick to judge. So if you guys are blocking and releasing people, I don't blame you guys. Protect your energy, protect yourself. All right, guys, but I'm going to end it here. Sorry that this is so long, but I just felt the energy and I just felt channeled, and I just felt like, let me just keep saying whatever this message is, because even if it doesn't resonate for you, it's still understandable that people still go through things like this. And is it fair? No, it's not fair, because as adults, you would assume that even adults who have kids, nobody is ready to have a child but you prepare yourself to be ready. So learning from your own mistakes, it's like, even if you went through certain things, learning to understand your child, accepting them and being open to them and who they are for that generation. Stop trying to change that generation or force that generation to be your generation because it worked for you guys, even though it may not work for us. Can we learn certain things from each and every generation? Of course. You know, that's how things are, you know, passed down. But there are certain traumas and patterns that need to stop, and we are stopping that, right? But anyways, love you guys. I'm going to end it here, and I'll see you guys in the next video or message. All right, guys? Have a good one. Bye.